for a few calls to change the Australian flag.
OK kids, time for a history lesson. The Aussie flag started with this Union Jack back in 1788, then upgraded in 1801. After a design competition, it took a more modern appearance in 1901, upgraded again in 1903 and again in 1908 before settling in 1954 on the flag we currently have. Well, today a long list of celebrated Aussies have called for Australia to adopt a new modern flag. They argue it's time Australia stepped out from underneath England's shadow and chose a unique flag, or at least one that doesn't look so much like New Zealand's. So if we are to upgrade, what best represents a modern Australia?
Definitely a pair of thongs.
Maybe a jar of Vegemite?
A sausage or something like that.
So is it time we ditched our flag for something less pommy, or are we forgetting our proud history in a bid to appear like a country all grown up?
Joining us now is a bloke who loves our flag just as it is, monarchist Jai Martinkovits. Jai, what is it about the current flag that you love so much?
Well, I think that the existing flag that we have at the moment basically encapsulates everything that's Australian. Our core institutions and values that have been with us since settlement, and also partly from federation. Core institutions and values that have become Australianised through the Australia Act in 1986. All ties essentially with the UK have been cut, and we now have an Australianised version of those systems, and they're encapsulated in our flag.
Oh, come on, Jai, you say it captures everything Australian. I mean, we've got the Union Jack stamped right across it.
Yes, we certainly do, and I don't see that that's not Australian. Now, if you look, for example, at all of the Union Jack itself is on other flags, the Hawaiian flag, the Fijian flag. Why would someone say that the Union Jack is any less Australian than the English language, our system of government, our, our system of courts, judicial law? You know, all these things are Australian. We've Australianised them. We're no longer tied to England. Since 1986 with the Australia Act, we're a completely independent nation, and having the Union Jack on our flag is certainly Australian.
But Jai, you just mentioned a couple of other countries, New Zealand, Hawaii, all these other places with the Union Jack. Why don't we just have a flag that's just Australian without being the same as everyone else?
Well, I think that Australians, let's look, for example, at who is Australian. Australia is really made up of the people in it. Now, we have immigrants coming to Australia. Why do they come to Australia? They come for what Australia is. And really and truly, our flag is one of those things. We've fought and, not myself personally, of course, but, we've had people fought and died under that flag for our values. And, there is one side of it that's disrespect, but it is also uniquely Australian.
Now, Jai, even though I believe you'd look better right now if you had the Australian flag draped around you, I'm not happy with it. Our flags look too much like New Zealand's, man. Where are the winners there? Overseas, people can't tell the difference.
Husey, I think that Australians and New Zealanders can certainly tell the difference. But let's look, for example, at some of the European flags, the Hungarian flag and the Italian flag. Now, all of these three tricolour flags, they're very similar and could be confused, but no one's calling for a change in those flags. Now, look at any of those three colours, the French and the Dutch flag, I think, as well. They're very similar. There's no pushes there. Australians and New Zealanders can tell the difference, so I don't see that there's really any need to change it at all.
Well, Jai, I don't think the debate's going to stop anytime soon. Thanks for joining us, and get a quick swim in before sunset, mate.
I'll do my best.
It's going to be very hard to please anyone with a new flag, but a lot of people forget that the Australian flag, it was a competition winner that was won by 5 people. One of them was a Kiwi, originally in 1901, and the reviews were scathing. A lot of people hated it. The Bulletin said that the current flag that we had was a stale reheat of the British flag with no artistic value and no national significance.
Yeah, but it's matured. See, that was 100 years ago.
Exactly.
It's matured. I like the flag.
Exactly.
I think we should get the UK to change it before we change. We actually own the Union Jack now. Get them to change their flag. Why not?
That's a bold argument that makes no sense. That's great. There are a lot of suggestions out there. Ozflag sort of run a poll on this, have suggestions. There are a few flags we've got here. These are some possibles. This one gets a lot of talk. What do you reckon?
Nice. I don't mind it.
OK, 1 for, 1 against.
I like that.
Nah.
Oh.